Mom's sick, so I came instead. The tiny voice came from a little girl standing in front of the fancy restaurant, clutching a pink backpack and staring up at a tall man who never expected his entire life to change in the next 5 seconds. If you're listening right now, don't scroll, because what happened after that moment is something you'll remember for a long time. And if you love stories that hit your heart, make sure to like the video and subscribe, because this one is special. Nathan Hale, 38, millionaire CEO of Hale Tech, had survived boardroom wars, hostile takeovers, and the coldest business negotiations. But he had never not once been stood up on a blind date by a child holding a half-melted chocolate bar and a handwritten note. She pushed the note toward him with her small trembling hands. Mom said, "She's sorry. She got too sick to come. But she didn't want you to be alone today. So she sent me." Nathan blinked, stunned. He wasn't good with kids. He wasn't good with people, really. But something about her hopeful eyes, wide and nervously waiting, broke through the armor he'd worn for years. "What's your name?" he asked softly. "Lila," she whispered. "Mom said the lady who set up this blind date told her you're a good man. She didn't want to disappoint you." Nathan felt something tighten in his chest. The restaurant's expensive marble floors and soft classical music suddenly felt too rehearsed, too cold. "Well, Lila, how about we don't disappoint each other? You hungry?" Her face lit up instantly, the way only a child's can. "Can I have pancakes?" she asked shyly. "They're not on the menu," he smiled, "but I think we can make it happen." The maitre d' looked like he might faint at the request, but Nathan Hale wasn't a man people said no to. Minutes later, Lila had a plate of specially prepared pancakes shaped like a bunny, and Nathan had the first genuine smile he'd worn in years. As they ate, Lila talked about school, about her love for drawing, and most of all, about her mom, Mara. "She works so hard," Lila said, her voice dropping, "but she gets really tired. Today she couldn't even stand up." Nathan felt a chill run through him. He had known people who faked excuses, dodged dates, played games. But this was real. "Is she sick a lot?" he asked. Lila nodded. "She doesn't tell me everything. But I know she's scared." After their unexpected dinner, Nathan insisted on walking Lila home. She held his hand like she'd known him her whole life. Her trust was so innocent, so unfiltered, it scared him. When they reached the small apartment building, a stark contrast to the luxury he lived in, Nathan paused. Lila turned to him. "Do you want to meet her?" The question hit harder than he expected. Inside, Mara struggled to stand when she saw him, embarrassed, apologizing, trying to tuck loose hair behind her ear. Nathan had seen powerful people crumble in front of him, but the softness in her eyes, the quiet strength in her face, felt like something he didn't deserve to witness. "I didn't want to cancel on you," she said, breathless, "but I just didn't have the strength today." Nathan shook his head. "You have nothing to apologize for." She was warm. She was humble. She was nothing like the women who usually tried to impress him. And that terrified him in a good way. Over the next weeks, Nathan found himself stopping by her apartment just to check in. He brought groceries, helped with chores, and took Lila to the park. Lila adored him, but Mara kept a respectful distance, wary of his status, his world, and the imbalance between them. "I don't want you to feel responsible for us," she told him once, gently. "You don't owe us anything." Nathan looked at her for a long moment. "Maybe I don't," he said quietly, "but for the first time in years, I want to be somewhere. With someone. With both of you. But life never gives happiness without testing it." One evening, Lila called him in tears. "Mom doesn't wake up," she cried. Nathan rushed to the apartment, his heart pounding as he carried Mara to the car. The hospital lights buzzed coldly above him, and for the first time since childhood, Nathan found himself praying. He stayed all night with Lila asleep on his lap, whispering promises he was terrified he couldn't keep. Doctors confirmed Mara had been hiding a chronic condition she couldn't afford to treat. Silence hit Nathan like a punch. All her sacrifices. All her strength. All her fear. She had been fighting alone. He wasn't going to let her fight alone anymore. He arranged the best doctors, covered her treatment quietly, never boasting, never demanding credit. When Mara woke up, the first thing she saw was Nathan holding her hand and Lila curled up beside him. "Why would you do all this?" she whispered, her eyes filling. He hesitated before answering, his voice trembling. "Because the night your daughter walked into that restaurant, I stopped being alone too." Recovery was slow, but Mara grew stronger every day. Lila's laughter filled the hospital halls. Nathan visited every morning before work and every night after, no matter how late. Their small world became a family long before any of them realized it. Months later, when Mara stood on her feet again, healthier than she'd been in years, Nathan invited them both back to the same restaurant. "Why here?" Mara laughed. He bent to Lila's height. "Because this is where she changed everything," he said warmly. Lila grinned proudly. Then Nathan turned to Mara, and this time, he wasn't nervous. "The day I met Lila, I didn't know she'd bring me the two people I never knew I needed. I'm not asking for anything fast or complicated. Just, let's try this. The three of us." Mara's eyes softened, and she reached for his hand. "We already started, Nathan." And somewhere between her smile and Lila's excited dancing, Nathan hailed Millionaire CEO, feared in boardrooms, untouchable in business, became something he had never been before. A man with a home. A heart that belonged somewhere. A father figure. A partner. A family. And if you've watched till now, remember, sometimes life changes in the moments you least expect. Sometimes love walks in with a backpack and melted chocolate. If you felt this story, hit the like button, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs a little hope today. Because you never know whose life you might change with just one story.